Hello and welcome to or back to Oh My Bookishness. Today is the first day of autumn, which is my favorite season, so I figured why not share my autumn TBR with you. These are just some books that I would really like to read this season, and they're also set in the fall or have autumn vibes to them. So I wanted to share them with you. We'll see how many I actually read this season. I don't ever get through my autumn TBR. Now, of course, with any Oh My Bookishness video, I always start out showing you what I am currently reading. And I'm currently reading two books, the first of which is Assistant to the Villain, which I have read before, but I am rereading it. I haven't gotten very far yet. I'm rereading it because my friend just read it and also read the sequel and the third book, and I own the sequel and the third book, but I haven't read them yet, and my friend told me I need to, so I'm rereading this one because I don't remember anything that happened in it, and I'm gonna read the second one and the third one. I talked about this one recently in my medieval Y2K video, which I think that video turned out really fun, so if you haven't seen it yet, you should go check it out. And then the second book that I am currently reading is An Introduction to Human Services. This is my textbook for the class I am taking, which is a very interesting class, and it's kind of like precursor to social work stuff, and at the library we do a lot of social work type things. We connect people with resources in our area, and so I am very slowly attempting to get my Human Services Associate's degree from our local community college. It's a process. I'm taking it a little bit at a time, like one class at a time, because I also work 40 hours a week. So this is kind of adult textbook, but the class is really interesting. Okay, we are like most of the way through September at this point, so I have already started on my fall reading. So I'll just start with the books that I've already read from my autumn TBR, the first of which is A Curse Unveiled. Look at this cover! Look at this cover! Look at it! It's so pretty. Every time I see it, I just am like, This is the sequel to A Curse Unspeakable, which I read back in December and then just recently reread to prepare for this one, which was released in July. These have very quickly become some of my favorite books. The series is called the Mage's Eye series, and I've definitely talked about this one before. But basically, this is very much like Ren Fair vibes, in my opinion. It's a fantasy set in a made-up world, and there's this traveling caravan, like troupe of performers, kind of like a circus almost, and they all travel across their country performing shows and stuff, and they help this girl Glory kind of get free from a bad situation that she's in. And she's on the run from somebody, and so they're kind of helping protect her. And there's a very handsome captain of this circus who, there's a very, very slow burn romance developing very slowly between them, and it's delectable. Highly recommend this one. It's amazing. It's amazing. And the sequel lives up to the first one in every way. Plus it has autumn vibes. I love it so much. The other one from my autumn TBR that I have already read is the Grimoire Grammar School Parent-Teacher Association. This is a, what do you call it, urban fantasy, basically. Also, look at the sprayed edges. It's set in modern day real world, except there's like a magical community that people don't know about. And the main character, Vivian, she is suddenly ingrained into this magical community because her 5-year-old was turned into a werewolf, and now she has to be part of this magical community, and her daughter has to go to magical kindergarten, and they live in a magical community, and it's kind of about the trials of being a parent and dealing with other parents while also learning how to survive in a magical world when you didn't know that magic existed before. And also set in a small town that is very like Hallmark-esque, but with magic. And the whole book doesn't take place in the fall. It's over the whole school year, so fall and spring semesters. But in the fall part, at the beginning of the book, there's good like September vibes, and then they have like a town Halloween party, which was honestly my favorite chapter of the book. I love the Halloween party, and like there's a little bit of Christmas thrown in there too, and it was very nice, like small town cozy fantasy slash oh no, my child is part of a prophecy and she's the bad part of a prophecy. So yes, very good, highly recommend. So those are the autumn books that I have read already this year. There are a few others that I would like to get to before Thanksgiving. The first one is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. This is, I think, the old cover, so you might recognize it with a different cover. Personally, I liked this cover better, and I wish they'd continued making the series with these, but oh well. So this one, as far as I know, is about like a field researcher who's going to research fairies, and then I think there's a romance in here as well. Somebody told me that it has really good autumn vibes, so I've been meaning to read it for forever, since it came out. I think maybe this fall will be the fall that I finally get to it. I'm hoping that it does actually have good autumn vibes. If I start reading it, it's like, it's spring and all the flowers are popping up, I might set it aside until spring, but we'll see. We will see. I'm pretty excited about it. I love Spiderwick books, which, you know, there's like a field journal in that where somebody's like researching fairies. I love the Fairyopolis, like the big book where somebody's like, oh yeah, here's my fairy research guide. I love things like that. That was like my favorite thing when I was a kid. I also loved Artemis Fowl, and had like all of the spin-off like little books of like how to recognize fairies in the wild. And so, you know, I'm excited about this. I love a good fairy book, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Okay, and then for October, which is coming up so fast, I have a couple of like spooky Halloween books that I am going to get to. I don't have this one with me currently, but I'll put a picture like here. I'm going to read When the Reckoning Comes, I believe is the title, and the author is Latanya McQueen, and I actually took a creative writing course from her back in 2017. A long time ago, but she was my creative writing professor the first time I was in school. When her book first came out, I didn't know she was writing a book, but I was working at the library and processing books, getting them ready for circulation, and came across one. I was like, what's this about? And read the back, and then saw her picture and saw the name, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Latanya. So I'm very excited to read that. That one I am reading for work, actually, because I made it one of the book club books for my like retirement age book club that I lead. So I'm excited to see. It's set at like a plantation, like a former plantation, and this Black woman is going there for a wedding. And it kind of talks about the controversy of people using old plantation houses as wedding venues. It's a little bit about that, but then I believe there's also some like ghosts in it. So I'm so ready for the spooky vibes for October, and I'm so excited to see what my former creative writing professor has written. And then I also want to read this graphic novel, The Third Shift Society, during October, and yeah, I did buy it just because there's this guy with the pumpkin head, and that reminded me of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and I love The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I have no idea if this has anything to do with Sleepy Hollow, but you know, it called to me. I was like, ooh, a Halloween book. But basically this one is about a paranormal investigators, I believe. It's a webtoon unscrolled book, which means like it used to be a webcomic, but then they made it into a graphic novel. And I have a couple of like webtoon unscrolled books that I really enjoyed, like the Cursed Princess Club, which adore. I adore that. And there's some other, oh, what's the other one? Suitor Armor, I've been really liking. I used to have the Webtoon app, but got way too addicted to it, so I don't have that app anymore, and I love that they're publishing the Webtoons as books so that I can read them and then set them aside. And then this is another book I'd like to read in October. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it this October. It's boy, I don't even remember what it's about, but it's called The Pumpkin Princess and the Forever Knight. And I picked it up at one of the local bookstores around here. I know it's from what I've heard, it's very like Halloween Town vibes, which I am so excited for. I love a good, and this one's juvenile. I love a good like middle grade Halloween, kind of spooky, but not like scare your pants off spooky. So I'm very excited for this, and I love that it's like the pages are lined with black. I just find that very pleasing to the eye. And there's like little illustrations as well at the tops of the chapters, so that's pretty cool. So the main character accidentally gets adopted by the Pumpkin King, so that's all I really needed to know to pick this up and buy it. I was like, all right, I'm sold. Give this to me in October immediately. And then this one, I don't know that I will actually get to it. I've been meaning to get to it since I bought it, but it hasn't happened yet. It is Bloody Fool for Love, which is a Buffy the Vampire like universe story all about Spike. And I watched Buffy for the first time last October, and Spike is my favorite character by far. No, Buffy's my favorite character. Spike is my second favorite character. I think this is not his backstory necessarily. I mean, kind of, but it's like what he was doing in between when he became a vampire and when he appears in the show. So I am excited for that, and I feel like it's gonna be a good spooky read, so we'll see if I actually get to it or not. And finally, this is what I would like to read in November if I do end up reading a book other than my book club book for the month of November. This one is called The Goblin's Bride. It is the third book in the something sisters. I can't remember what their last name. The Silveri sisters series, which the first one is The Fae's Bride, and the second one is The Warlock's Bride, which had kind of like Halloween vibes to it. The first one was very spring, and then the second one was Halloween, and then I think this one's supposed to be kind of like, we're having an autumn festival, a late autumn festival where we are thankful for things in this fantasy world. It's not Thanksgiving at all, no. I think this will be a good one for the month of November. The first two I have really enjoyed. They're kind of set in an Italian-inspired world, which is very fun, and that's kind of how I came across the first one, because it was recommended as, if you like The Enchanted April, you'll like The Fae's Bride. And I did enjoy The Fae's Bride. I don't know, I feel like the writing could be a little bit more polished for them, and they're definitely like cheesy romances with a little bit of insta-love and everything. So it's not like it's use your brain kind of reading. It's definitely like turn off your brain, just enjoy the cozy vibes sort of thing, which sometimes is exactly what I want. So I am excited for this for the month of November. And I know there's like lots of baking in it, so I'm excited. And then those are all of the books that I hope to read this fall. What are some of the books that you are hoping to read? Would you like me to make a fall books recommendation video? I have several good recommendations. I just didn't want to make this video like 2 hours long, so I didn't want to include them in this video, but I have some really good recommendations, and if you'd like to see them, I would be happy to share them. So let me know, and let me know what you're reading and what kind of books you like to read in the fall. Are you more of a cozy reader in the fall? Are you more of like a scary reader? Dark academia? Like, what are you reading this fall? Let me know. And I don't know how to end the video, so bye!